10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
You can't see it, but I can. I'm feeling the pain of pausing. I think that the best way of describing Mudgolems' lineup is they need to have this strong laning phase. You know, the troll naturally wins most lanes he gets to play. The IO +1, they exist, they farm. And they're going to have to look for outplays. They're going to have to look for that high pressure, that high tempo. Question is, they made some big strategic mistakes in that first game. So with this type of lineup, making those mistakes can't really happen. So they need to really have bounced back from game one. But they do have the lineup that can, you know, just outmaneuver a team. Though the simplicity of Chicken Fighter's lineup just exceeds what Mudgolems have. So again, like I said, it's all about the laning phase. And welcome, guys, to another pause. This is pause number 33 of the series.
This is fun.
Oh wow, I just consciously said 33 because 33 is in the game. Wow. Look at that. That's
Big
some
brain
magic.
move right there. There's a lot of nuke damage on Mudgolems. Think about the Ember Spirit, Void Spirit. We've got two heroes with escape mechanisms. A lot of heavy damage that they can deal out. Then you've got to worry about, do we fight the Exorcism? Can we fight the Exorcism? Do we just back away? Are we able to get out in time? Does Troll get out of position? What's the control going to be like from the Dire side? And there's a lot of questions for Mudgolems, and I feel like the initiative is always going to be maybe on their side of how they approach. Do they play it active? Do they play proactive? But
well, the thing is, they have the heroes, right? Like, they have the ability, early on. Like, when you see the likes of CM, Earthrick, Furion, these heroes don't like playing up against these elusive, wave-clearing type heroes. And when you have, like you just mentioned, the Ember Spirit, the Void Spirit, those early level 6, those tower defenses, it can easily be Mudgolems just overwhelming. Think about the value of Tombstone in this game. Like, Furion, CM, Death Prophet, they're the heroes that can technically kill it, but your CM should never be that close to the fight. Furion, like, they all want to be a little bit further away. So, Mudgolems for sure, they have the answer to this early kind of skirmishing lineup that is, you know, CM, Earthrick, Furion, plus the push potential of a DP. The question is, when the PA, the DP, they suddenly have BKBs, they can suddenly just get to play out a game of Dota. And this Troll, he has to go for a Battle Fury this game. If he doesn't go for Battle Fury, he's going to get, stuck in a Sprout. So there's a big disparity between the aggression of Mudgolems' lineup and when Troll's online compared to Chicken Fighters when they're just all evenly just happy to want to take fights. So it'll be exciting to see this laning phase, who can actually build that lead and then who can get the ball rolling.
So, too long didn't read would basically be for Troll Warlord. If you see a Nature's Prophet, you go Battle Fury because of the Quail ability.
Also, the fact that he needs to scale in this lineup, he doesn't have that natural damage arm.
He does. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, don't worry, I got you. I honestly thought, I was like, yes, I agree. No, but yeah, in all seriousness, he does need it this game, the little devil, but.
Cheeky, spicy smoke 5-man.
Oi, finally, we have some changing up of the Battle Rune fight. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Yes, he's getting vision with the Treant. He's gonna see. Oh, I can't see anything but the Treant, but now I see 33. Hello. Now we're too far away, so bye. Quick drive by and out of there.
And this is why we see people not do smokes at the start of the game.
Yep.
In fairness, though, the meta for
30
bounty runes is
seconds
heavily
left.
dictated that your safe laner hugs your tower, the off laner sits really far back, and then they contest at the very last minute. So I love the attempt, but realistically, it's so hard to really find a pick on.
Yeah.
Charlie, though,
I
look
love
at
how
him.
Charlie's.
Yeah.
He's staying all by himself here with the PA. It's like,
There aren't any stones on Mudgolems lineup. We haven't mentioned that as well. Once we get to the middle portion of the game, if the golems aren't just running over the game, they're relying on roots and slows, and that's about it.
The battle
Maybe a
begins.
cheeky abyssal on the troll if Skidder gets the farm, but it's all about outplays for Mudgolems.
it does. There's a time, like you said, when Mudgolems can still have an effect on how this game is going to be going, when can they do stuff, and at some point I guess they have to let go of their so-called advantage of having the initiative.
And also, this is, again, elimination game, mate. If Mudgolems lose this, they're out of the tournament,
They're
which
out.
is
Exactly,
honestly
they're
a
out.
very, a very big upset, especially with the team after it's won Germany. You would expect a lot more. Of course, if you go on Twitter and see there has been like real life situations, so you can kind of give them respect there and go, okay, maybe this tournament's maybe not for them. But still, it's a shock just hearing this team name and then elimination in the same sentence so early in the playoffs.
Yeah, you never want to be the team to drop out first from a tournament. Never want to be that team.
Well, technically they're not first because Div 2 teams are already eliminated, right?
Technically, yeah. You're right.
Yes. 1 point for me. All right, get the scorecard going.
All right.
You also got a point for
things off.
the bracket, but anyway, kick it away, mate.
We'll have our Void Spirit off lane. Good old stuff. IO competing against PA. We've got CM, jungle activity. Gotta be very active with this pulling. Interesting pull, only gets half the wave as well. Scared of the IO. Test with the Crystal Maiden. Courier will be saved. And, positive side. Though, how do you play this lane? Like, when you're support, CM versus IO. Both don't have the highest damage. They don't really need to babysit the lane, but they're not the best harassers either. So how do you play this lane as the supports? You're the support guy.
You're just kind of poking your product, playing off your pull, enabling the farm, right? You want to have your PA just have the free farm, and like you can't pressure. That's the thing. Maybe level 2, level 3, you can punish an overextension with a point in Frostbite, but other than that, it's just making sure Charlie just hits his creeps and stopping Milan also pulling the hard count. That's the key thing.
Yeah. We have the mid matchup with Stormer this time. Ember Spirit instead of the Invoker, Supreme with DP. I think the annoying part of playing an Ember versus
Misha
Death
dropping
Prophet
very low
is-
in top lane. Oof, like 20 HP in top, nearly dying.
Well, South broken though. How did Milan get the vision for that? Maybe one of the... Oh yeah, he's got an Obs Ward here, so yeah, that explains everything. So he just saw the CM, broke the salve.
Oh, and the tip as well. Oh, the tip's about
Clicks in, no. Yep, it's gonna be first blood. Mudgolems pick it up.
I think Misha, in all fairness, he was like, yeah, I kind of want to die here. I just have myself cancelled, please get me out of the game. Or the lane.
What I was going to go on about the mid matchup with the Ember versus the DP is you see Spirit Siphon go off, you can't disjoint it with Sleight of Fist, which is annoying.
But that's why you have the Ember going for the Flame Guard build. He can at least mitigate the damage. The key thing here in this matchup is the Ember wants to look to make rotations. Death Prophet at level 6 can just pressure the tower.
Ember light bottom. Game 3.
And he's gone.
Axe is going to be enough.
And this is what Mudgolems needed, right? They need to have strong lanes to kind of boost them up, because if they don't have a strong start, suddenly that Death Prophet dictating the pace of the game. And if Mudgolems, they have this early lead, when all 4 of the heroes bar Troll start playing together, you might force out like a defensive exorcism, or even like any of these key spells from Chicken Fighters, and suddenly you're protecting your towers just from being aggressive.
So yeah, as they got that kill, they realized that Era is somewhere. Era has been sitting AFK here for, what, 40 seconds now? They
Quite some
spotted
time.
it with a scan. Now Fada is here like, how long have you been here? Just getting some kind of mental pressure onto the Ember Spirit so he can't farm up while Supreme is just taking everything for himself.
It's
the
just
South.
after game 1, Storm was like, lads, if we watch the replay back, at minute 5, these two supports were, can we maybe rotate a support and help me out? Like, I know I'm the new guy, but I need some help. And that's where Father's like, well, okay, I can help you.
Second point into Soul Rip, and Whisper healed up again. Chained to the DP era. Looking for the roll in. Does he want to go? Nope, not under the tier 2 tower at least.
Dire's
Very
top
tanky.
tower is under attack.
He is not dying today.
Just
the pressure.
in his name.
Look at the CS though from Radiant. You know, Void Spirit 31 on 5 compared to a 16 and OPA like
Misha
they
on top. Third kill from Mudgolems. Io might go down with Era TPing at 33. Can't block the roll because he's already in it. And Era will get the roll out. There we go. They take down the Io. Charlie, however, very low HP. Fada, Soul Rip into the face. That's her PA down.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Good stuff from Mudgolems. The active rotations, but also the fact that you have the laning matchups help, especially after game 1. You got a troll via Furion, that's going to be complete free fun for the troll. You have the IO +1 with a PA can't really pressure, so Mudgolems utilizing the heroes that they have, and I think the only question we need to look for an answer is how Stormstorm are going to have entry into this game. Is he going to look for early rotations?
Yeah.
Are they going to punish maybe the Death Prophet popping ult right now on this mid tower?
Supreme wants to apply pressure onto this tower, but that level 3 Flame Guard, difficult to break through. At least forces the Ember Spirit away, gets to push another wave. Arrows here. Fada is chasing the Earth Spirit. We've seen these two at it for quite a few minutes. Clips the Undying, actually. Who might even have to use the Mango to try and teleport out. They get the kill on Era. That goes for the Ember Spirit. Undying's going to have to wait a few extra seconds on the cliff, but he's fine.
That was overall a really nice play.
Though takes the DD.
He's chilling.
Almost an empty bottle now.
So you have this Undying mirroring the Earth rotation. You also have 33 TPing into the mid lane, taking away the creep wave, so Death Prophet can't just pop the ult onto the tower. And then Stormstorm, of course, it's very hard for him right now. Level 5, no bottle charges. But his tower's alive.
Troll doesn't have ulti. Hasn't leveled it up yet.
Oh no, get it.
Does he want to?
Oh my god.
No, he doesn't have the points for it. Yeah, so he's going to have to forfeit his life. Look at those points, but he did have that 1 point in Fervor. If he didn't have 2 points in Whirling Axes, technically could have gone for Battle Trance, but what difference would that actually have made in that case? Nothing.
For sure. Like, if Skid had died there and Sableye lived, Twitch chat would have just been giggling to themselves.
Yep. But then again, as expected, Misha now in trouble. That was not what we expected. What we expected was Mudgolems definitely pulling themselves together after that game 1 loss. With this early game coming in strong for them, it was expected that they will prove out strong, but how strong and how much do they make out of it? Stormstormer still hasn't really rotated away from it. Like you said, when does he make his first play and what does he go for?
Well, right now he's in recovery farm. Like, he can't really make moves. He needs to accept that his lane was hard and he should farm jungle. Like, he should be happy that his tower's still alive.
Can he get this kill? Should not. Yep. The third kill for the troll. Those killers enjoying this time.
But this is kind of the expected start from the game, though. In regards to Mudgolems, they have the heroes to pressure the lanes to get that early lead. The question is, how does Chicken Fighters, once again, 2 games in a row, how do they react to that aggression? How do they buy enough time for the PA to be confident, the Death Prophet to be tanky? And it's a combination of Chicken Fighters that need to start grouping.
Tombstone, fight breaking loose in mid as Fada. Half HP right now, Supreme does get some damage out here. Here comes Saberlight as well to the rescue. Stormstormer doesn't get the chance to connect, and he's in trouble. Has to use his first round and jump up 33. Gets enough damage out, and Arrow will go down. Supreme still on the front line. Does have that 3 points in crit squad available. Can he hit a target though? Here comes Skidder to the rescue. And Supreme will be punished. Misha will fall down as well. 3 kills going for Mudgolems.
That was really nice.
And the Ember lives. The boy who lived, Stormstormer. They are really helping him out now, and it's paying off.
Yeah, especially when you have Skidder coming in as well for that fight, just realizing we just need to go. And if you look at Skidder's itemization, he's not going for the Battle Fury. He's realized, wait, we are fighting, we're winning the game right now, and I think reasoning, if you go Battle Fury, guess what? You don't have that timing with your team, so it's going for the Yasha. He's trying to apply that instant pressure.
Supreme, Misha in trouble. We talked about this CM. Needs to be careful of his positioning. He can't get the tower denied. Still in the front line. Stormstormer. So he's in big trouble right now. No remnants, and he gets killed down. Frostbite perfectly played out there from Misha. But I think the tower down.
This is one of those things where, Saberlight in bot lane. That's a relocate. And, surprise! No stuns. Or a root coming out from Troll Warlock.
Yeah, that was a surprise birthday party. Doesn't go like
look at mid.
And now Milan is like, okay, I brought my friend with me. Is that okay? Not in this case, maybe. Nice chains come out to Misha. Charlie, low HP. PA going down.
Don't believe this.
Stormstormer Fada finding two with Milan dying. Supreme trying to make a run away from 33. The Remnant doesn't quite connect, allowing the DP to escape. But Mudgolems keeping this up. This PA kill, not exactly the best from Chicken Fighters. They don't want their PA to die this early.
No, for sure. I think right now, if you're Chicken Fighters and you see how the Troll's itemizing, you're like, okay, well, if we get this Battle Fury on PA, if she starts scaling, you force Mudgolems to have to apply that pressure, have to look for that fight, go for Roshan. But because you have PA dying mid, it just kind of cushions this Troll a little bit more. I think this is shaping up to be a very scary game, in my opinion, for Mudgolems, where they're riding that wave of aggression right now. They need to hold that up. They need to be able to keep that pace going the entire time, because eventually your Troll will just fall off because he's going for a more kind of team-orientated build.
Chains on DP. This is the third exorcism for this mid tower. Trying to get this kill on the Ember Spirit. Stormer getting healed up the tower. Finally taken down with the help of the catapult.
Skidder just didn't lose. He's on the wall.
NP ulti hurts when you take the last hit. Milan low on HP. Nice roll coming in from Era. And an ulti, the Magnetize doing a decent amount. And Saberlight, well, there's a mechanism here. Milan relocate. Looks like they're in panic mode. And they have to go all the way back home. Era forced away by Stormstormer. Milan stays alive through that engagement.
Yeah. And this is where the Chicken Fighters lineup, you can see like how it has its strengths, right? It's the aggression of 4, the cheap damage coming up from CM plus Earth Spirit, that push between the DP, the Furion. It opens up the map for the PA to farm. Of course, Mudgolems, when they're 5, they can easily rebuttal this aggression. But when they have a quick pick-off, Chicken Fighters are very much in the lead for those quick fights. So,
Misha, a quick pick-off here for Skidder, most likely. Unless they can do something to save him. Well, between 5 Mudgolem heroes.
Quick update on the comms. Misha's like, don't worry guys, got the ward. He's feeling pretty good.
Dire's bottom tower is under
all good.
attack.
Everything going according to plan.
Are fortified.
Charlie going for Battle Fury.
Yeah, for sure. He's a PA mate.
Finish.
He's going to go for a cheap Battle Fury. There's no Slardor, there's no Magnus. There's no one really to give him that full damage. So he's like, I've got to be
Dire's
my own
bottom
carry.
tower has fallen.
Playing the late game.
And if Saberlight sprouts him, then he wants to be able to get out his own sprout. So that's why he's going.
True. Yeah, we talked about this at the
Dire's
start.
bottom tower is under attack.
But Saberlight
NP
ping comes back.
fit the same sentence perfectly. Void Spirit, however, Yule's is going to be ready, so 33 does have a save and a setup for the Yules into the Remnant. Fada, Stormstormer smoked up, heading towards the top side. There's a Nature's Prophet awaiting. But if they, there's an Envis DP though, which Stormstormer doesn't know about. Now he's panicking. DP's right on his heels. Remnant out. They spot Saberlight. Here comes the relocate. Speed back to comes up from there. It doesn't connect with the stun though. Fada is in between. Look at the beautiful damage from Misha. And Supreme, but is it going to be enough? They're trying to fight with this Exorcism pop now. So late into the fight from Supreme. Gets a kill on Fada. Still fighting Skitter, but it's not going to be enough. This DP will not survive. Misha did so much work.
I kind of debated you there. I saw the Fury with his mech and Sprout. I was like, oh, this is going to be good. And I was like, oh, he doesn't have mana for the mech. He's not tanky. I take it back. And
I was like,
he's kind of squishy, but they're a very beautiful looking freezing field.
Radiant structures are fortified.
the freezing field was nice. I was like, Exorcism, you've got it. No. Okay.
Oh, nice body blocks. Oh, the bot lane, the cheeky little body blocks to prevent Skidder from starting to build up the attack to in the hope to get a root. Nice stuff.
Saberlight alive.
But yeah, this is where Mudgolems, they really can punish the amount of map that chicken fighters want to play. Naturally, when you have the likes of these heroes, they want to try and farm up quite a lot. Mudgolems, if they start finding these kind of quick pickoffs and forcing out these counter plays, and suddenly their lineup, like they're so strong with a Yasha on Troll, the soon-to-be Master on Ember, a Yules on Voice Break. They have so many cheap items for this fight.
33. He spots some stacks in the jungle. Run away though.
DD on Ember.
Wasn't quite. Yeah, relocate coming in though. And here comes Skitter. Misha, he's not the target they want to go for because they know he's already dead. Hera. Remnant doesn't quite connect. Relocate's going to be ended for a few more seconds, but they already find 2 kills. And Supreme doesn't want to capitalize on top. While Charlie's like, oh. Alright, just going to slow Milan down. There's backup on the way.
This feels like some classic Chicken Fighters gameplay where everyone but Charlie just runs wild across the map trying to do things, and then Charlie's just quietly farming, and he'll either win or lose the game for his team. So right now, kind of Chicken Fighters are playing to the script of their normal gameplay. The question is, will it pay off when they are dying this much, 19% for 15 minutes?
Classic Saberlight TP's out once again, but Yules get it this time because of the Yules.
Round 2.
Saberlight.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. Yeah, it's not enough damage from 33. Really tried.
I can count the amount of stuns Mudgolems have on one foot.
Oh, alright. Never mind. Smart decision not to say anything. We got a Spirit Vessel almost ready on the Earth Spirit. It's going to take a few hundred more gold. Nice timing there. Roll onto Fada. Misha's right there as well. He's gone. Okay. No mercy. However, Mudgolems coming in with force. 3 heroes caught inside. And Saberlight Misha looks like to be the first casualty. 8 HP. Nope. There we go. So if this will be enough, they have the Exorcism. Supreme intervenes. Saberlight is down. Milan going down as well. They do get the Dissimilate from 33, so the Void Spirit gets out back to safety. Stormstormer, no remnants. Supreme might have a chance to kill him here. Silence goes out. Exorcism, Spirit Siphon. There's the Crypt Squall. Era, and they will take down Stormstormer. However, the Dissimilate from 33, and he does have 1 charge in Astral Step, so he's able to get out in time. Finding a bit of revenge, but that Exorcism is about to run out. He does pop the regen as Skitter is giving a bit of chase. 33 is back in.
Oh,
but no.
I thought Supreme was going to go back in for a second. Like, mate, you're about to wear off. Calm down. Yeah, Saberlight has basically been demoted to a position 3.5. So, yeah, like, very much supporting Fury right now in the terms of he's gone for mech, medallion. He's still trying to go for his halberd. And his job in this game is just to tank up some Mudgolems.
Roche has been spotted.
Yeah, they need to go for this. Their lineup is about early fight, early aggression.
CM has no TP, but CM's here.
No DPO. Yeah, PA is just about to come in Battle Fury. She's still 4 or 5 minutes away from being like fight ready.
0.5k. Still no aggression. MP can't teleport to this 2k HP.
No, give it away.
No contest. They
can't contest this. The way that Chicken Fighters is in this game right now, is Mudgolems, they're riding that wave of a power spike. If they can get over that, defend their high ground, then sure, they're going to be able to play Dota. Oof. Saberlight finally gets the TP out of an aggressive play. But you see here, look at that instant reaction. They go Roshan and Mudgolems, they move top. Chicken Fighters instantly push out mid, push out bot. They're going to try and give up the map for Mudgolems, allow them to have what they want. But then suddenly, this Charlie factor is going to come into play. We haven't seen a 5v5 pretty much for the last like 9-10 minutes, ever since PA died that mid lane. And that's what Chicken Fighters are playing for. Try and hold the game in terms of net worth lead, but you can give away a little bit of advantage. Because Mudgolems have heavily itemized to try and win the game within the next like 10 minutes or so.
Yep.
Radiant's bottom
So 3-man smoke coming in the back. They've got NP available. Supreme, 2-man silence comes out nicely. No relocate, so they can take this fight. There's 33 in product, both going down. You're saving the Void Spirit for now. Dissimilate buying a little bit of time. And Misha, alright, well that was the freezing field too, but they see the Void Spirit and it's not gonna be enough because the Remnant play able to keep the DP and no crit.
And that's why PA is a perfectly balanced hero, because obviously he doesn't crit every time, doesn't actually do that much damage. You know, if it was a pub and you were
never
playing
there.
the hero, yeah, exactly. Like against you, it always happens. Before you, nope, never happens.
Yeah, it's like
But
all
great
that talk
defense.
about. All that talk about Spirit Breaker, 17% crit chance.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So those are some old memes, but there's some good ones. Skitter, finding Misha. Supreme, however, Exorcism popped as well, trying to blow up this Aegis. They're going to be able to get the first kill. They get the first one. Can they get the second? Because Supreme going very aggressive right now. 33, trying to pull this DP, but the Ancient actually tanks the Remnant. So the DP is fine. Doesn't get clipped by the Remnant there. However, the relocate safe, but it will come at the cost of an IO life. So Aegis gone, dying dead. Milan goes down. That's a worth exorcism, but how long can they stay?
The next label plays.
After that type of play, they should be maybe poking at this tower, but then
Radiant's top
after
tower
looking to
is under
reset, I
attack.
think massive props to Chicken Fighters, identifying their
Radiant's
over-aggression by the tier 2
structures
and taking a fight, playing around their DP. The question I was having was, okay, maybe they're going to just allow Mudgolems to take over their own jungle, but that aggression was really good.
Aggressive smoke, 33, Stormstormer fodder.
Radiant's top tower is under
Nobody to be
attack.
found in
Radiant
top.
are
PA is
scanning.
teeping away in Blur.
Oh,
See the
a
animation,
little
but
bit
they
too
can't see
late.
the hero.
Yep, a little bit too late. And now if you look at the net worth, this is where it becomes dangerous for Mudgolems. They're playing as a unit, they're playing for the moment. And when you have this PA just slowly trickling away, taking over that lead now, it's dangerous. What, mate?
I'm getting some flashbacks from game 1. Mudgolems take Roshan, they lose Aegis, X and IP start to get the game under their control, end up winning the game, just saying, just getting some feels.
It kind of is, for sure. And I think that is... It's kind of how it's how Chicken Fighters, they like to kind of play their Dota, which is... Honestly, Charlie is the most valuable player on this team, in my opinion. Like, people like to sometimes meme the Charlie carry, but the game that this team win is because Charlie's absolutely popping off. And I guess the question you have to ask, and maybe why they did make it to Division 1, not especially because they started in Div 2, but anyways, was because they don't have that consistency of providing Charlie that game. And they're kind of finding their footing potentially in how they're playing the map, because they are rebuttaling some of this early aggression just to give Charlie that game. And now, look, Battle Fury, Deso, 21 minutes. They're going to smoke up once again and look for a fight, yeah?
Stacking up towards mid. We've got the Halberd also ready. Actually, no, the Halberd is still not ready. Never mind about that. Sanj is ready for the NP. If that was a Halberd ready, that would have been a really thick Nature's Prophet at that point.
Yeah, he's pretty thick right now, though. Not like thick, but like he's on his way to being thick, yeah.
He's on his way, yeah.
He's bulking right now. Soon he'll become Lizard, don't worry.
That's a way to go there. 22 minutes in, 21-12. A lot of numbers on the screen.
Agents of the Void.
This is still a tied game, at least in terms of net worth, but for how long
Radiant's
is the
middle
question
tower
that's
is under
hanging
attack.
in the air. Mudgolems talked about their item choices, how they wanted to go for early fighting. They went for the item choices that they wanted to, and now it's wearing off already. It feels like this early is wearing off.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
don't know, might be just me, but
It's the top tier 2 into the Aegis. We mentioned the idea of what the Aegis meant to do, and there's no value. Skitter instantly dies, respawns, and it's like he has to get relocated out. And now when you look at this troll, what's his entry into the game? Once again, he needs to go for a BKB to survive up against the silence from the Death Prophet, preventing his ultimate. He then needs an MKB so that he can lock onto the PA. He then needs an Abyssal to prevent the PA from just blinking away. And now this is where it gets awkward for Mudgolems, because they didn't ride that aggression the entire time and own all these early fights that they itemized for. They're now looking at this troll and going, hey buddy man, you really need like a
Dire's
Charlie
top tower is under
very,
attack.
very scary now.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
But also Supreme, the way that he's been very aggressive. We haven't mentioned him too much, but the boots of travel, the Yours, plate mail, he's also itemized really well just to deal with
Dire's
what
top tower
Mudgolems is
is
showing.
under
And
attack.
I think Supreme, he has been at the forefront of all these engagements, and because of him, we've been able to see this kind of even fight occurring.
Yeah, I also
Radiant's
agree. I think
bottom
it's a
tower
fantastic
is under attack.
itemization build here from DP, considering that this kind of makes Mudgolems think, do they fight the Exorcism if it's popped, if it's in the middle of a fight? Can we mute the DP or do we leave the DP? Because that's your big question when you see DP on the board and you see Exorcism. Do we fight it? Do we not? Era's picked off.
Very aggressive positioning.
Yeah,
Look at the arrow. Milan has drawn the arrow. No, that was Misha. Misha's like, alright guys, they're gonna run at us, alright? Yeah, he's drawing it again. He's reminding his team. Said, Charlie, stop farming now. Get the hell out of our jungle.
Yeah, it's like in this game it's a PA, but usually I've seen so many Charlie TV games where he's just like, if he's on Dire, he's farming here.
That's
like,
true.
get out of there. It's like, don't be there.
Yeah. Charlie and Skitter both have very equal,
Radiant
do,
are
actually.
scanning.
bold farming patterns. But
Yeah.
I've come to really enjoy watching Charlie as a carry player. I think early on he was always kind of like in the shadow of his teammates, but I think for sure he is rising up as becoming one of the standout players for this team. Of course, the team lacks a little bit of something, but Charlie's doing well.
There was one defining moment where I was like, Charlie's actually a really good player. It was when he played against a iconic team of mine countrymen. I think I've actually talked to you about this. The 3 Ages, 2 Anchors team.
Is this from 2017 stuff?
Robberman, Thompson, Jerax. Yeah. No, this was like with 2018, 2019. But that was when Sweden won Finland, and Charlie was the carry player back then for the Swedish team, and they beat the Aegises. And I was like, all right, well, this guy can do something.
Yeah.
It's like that was my defining moment of like, Charlie's actually a pretty good carry player. Obviously, it's a team game, but still.
Radiant's
like,
middle
part of that
tower
roster.
is under attack.
This next fight is make or break now for the side of Mudgolems. You can see Tro, he really wanted to go for MKB, he had it in his quick fight, but then he switched out at some point. He identified the fact that in the next probably 4 or so minutes, it will just be that game-breaking fight, which either team that wins it will just be able to control the best portion of the map.
Mudgolems taking they're taking the aggression. Aggressive wards being placed down, defensive wards as well. Misha giving the vision. Doesn't connect the chains. Was very close that the Ember actually got the searing chains onto Misha, and that could have been the start of a fight.
With no BKB piercing stun and only a basher on Troll, Misha is slowly trying to buy himself a BKB. Will Misha complete the BKB
Oh yes.
before the end of the game?
Good old times when we still had GPM talents, and you see CMs with BKBs and blink daggers going full man mode. What the days. Now though, Chicken Fighter smoking up, heading towards mid 33. Ooh, very aggressive play there, almost coming out. That would have been the end of his life. Mata, the edge of the stairs, hoping to pop some smokes. Gets the ward out, but he also reveals his location. Charlie on
Radiant's
the other
bottom
side.
tower
This
is under
double
attack.
pressure there.
Walking in, and there we go. The initiation comes out, and that's a quick kill, and instantly removed.
And this is why PA is perfectly balanced here. And of course, it's about positioning.
Radiant's
Fox just
bottom
wasn't in the
tower
right
is
position.
under attack.
You can easily count.
Radiant's
Oh
bottom
man,
tower
PA is so
is falling.
bonkers. You can't do anything when you're a support player, especially when you're undying. Like, he bought Blade Mail, but it's like, are you really gonna... Yeah, PA's not gonna crit herself to death, so... Most unfortunate. And now it's basically waiting for Roshan. This will be Mudgolem's kind of window to really take a fight. You kind of force everyone to one area of the map. Of course, you have that Fury and split push that Mudgolems will have to be vigilant of, because if one lane's pushing in, they TP back to defend. Then suddenly you have that numbers disadvantage at Roshan, but with Ember Spirit, you're kind of covered on that.
Waiting game. Roshan is up. See which team.
And Skidder has done a great job at keeping up with net worth, especially with his build. Having that IO as that pairing. Here we go. Fight time.
Was double thinking it there for a moment. The Storm of Skidder instantly walking the pit, goes straight for the DP, and not they're going to take it. 300 HP to go, and DP's gone. Exorcism down. Misha on the run as well with BKB Skidder coming in right onto Saber. I guess the root out as well. The mechanism not going to be enough at that point as Milan is also being in trouble, but he does have that goal set to keep himself alive for a bit longer. Misha Supreme coming with the buybacks as well, TPing onto the outpost as Stormstormer still chasing them up. Skidder finds Saberlight, and Supreme being chased up. Dieback DP on the way as they all surround this TP from every direction. Those siphons will do a bit, but you will not get a second chance. DP going down. Eric trying to come for the rescue, but it's too late. Saberlight coming in as well with the buyback. Desperation play. Charlie in the middle of this fight, trying to get some hits out, but he's half HP as well. Skidder very low. Troll no ulti. Nobody focusing him right now. He's at the back line. Stormstormer takes the front line for himself. Charlie with the spare belts trying to make a run out for it as 33 getting frostbitten, and he is down. And it's also reflected onto the CM. CM down. Saberlight something focused as Milan is in the front, and now Skidder. He walks in, but he does get this on right away. And the NP down too. Chicken Fighters, they have spent so many buybacks on this, and it's not looking good for them because they have to give away Roche.
That was a very good aggression from Mudgolems, first of all, just the confidence of running into the pit. But it shows that for Chicken Fighters, it's so bold of them just to hit Roshan like this. I understand that they have a Death OP and a Death Rocket, but look at the value of that Tombstone, the engagement from Mudgolems. It's like, Chicken Fighters, they couldn't retreat out of that pit. They were committed. Death Rocket, of course, at the very start, just blew up.
All the heroes that bought back also died, so 3 diebacks.
That was
Roshan has fallen to the
Chicken Fighters, they had a very strong, needed to be patient outside that pit, needed to wait and bait out the map, allow for Fury to apply that split push, force the Ember to move around the map, and then you set yourself up for Roshan. But purely running into it, like, just because Mudgolems are a fighting lineup and they haven't scaled as well, doesn't mean they can't fight you.
Initiation, Charlie, Arrow, trying to look for Milan. Half HP, but that's your combo completely used up. They will still go on this IO. Charlie, BKB popped up as well, trying to go for the manhole fight here. 2 versus 4 might be advantageous for Chicken Fighters. They take down 33, Skidder. BKB pops his ulti, he gets routed instantly.
Where's your quitting today?
And they are kiting the troll. They're kiting the troll, trying to get the kill out. The mechanism comes out as well. Charlie trying to reinitiate ulti Milan. As that buyback comes out from Io, and they might just get this kill. They're isolating him away. The Aegis has been popped from Skidder. Triple kill for Charlie. Another Sprout, but Skidder able to get out of the spider leg. But the welcome arrow and a potential kick backwards. No, not gonna get it now. But Troll, he is surrounded into the tree. Skidder, frostbitten, taken down. Supreme, 4 heroes down from Mudgolems, and Chicken Fighters fight back.
And that's the fight I thought Chicken Fighters would be looking for outside Roshan. I'm happy to see that they are able to take it now after, but whew, crikey, that is a Mudgolems overextension 101, and we saw it in the game. If you click on Troll,
Repeat from game 1.
he doesn't have a quelling blade, right? He does have the spider legs to be able to run out of sprout, but they were all cooldown when he got sprouted. 12-second cooldown. So he just stood there idly like, team, help.
That's the moment where you're like, not feeling so strong now, eh? Charlie, BKB teleport out. That's your 8th-second BKB down on the PA. Wearing down, so minor victories for Mudgolems. Just, can we look at the net worth graph momentarily? We saw that 6k spike coming from Mudgolems after that fight, and it's gone. It's back to 0 again. It didn't last long. Kill a lot of regen though. Need to try and finish that. The news comes out though. BKB popped as well from Skidder. DP still trying to make his way out, but won't be enough. The Maelstrom procs will finally take down the Death Prophet. Era also a looks like a defensive Yules there being used. Only a quick kill on the DP and then out.
This is very much getting to the time where DP's like, I really wish I have a BKB. Like, that would make my life so much easier. Update on Moose BKB though. Oh, so getting closer. 1600 gold away.
Too far.
Pretty far. She's position 5. It'll be about another 20 minutes.
Yeah, might just be. At least has the money to buy some wards every now and then. And I'm surprised. Misha,
Radiant are
I think
scanning.
the last time I looked at the TP situation, he does have one coming on the courier right now, so he has one. But he spent a lot of time in this game without a teleport scroll, even in the early game as well as Era gets defensive duels to keep himself alive for a bit longer. Misha in trouble, relocate on the back lines. They take down one, they take down a second. Both supports dead from Chicken Fighters, and Skitter finds Charlie. Doesn't he have any friends though? Now Skitter's like, I want some revenge from last time. Miss, miss, miss. How many times are you gonna miss? You're gonna hit the man. 33 gets the tall now, and now back onto the PA. Now he's finally getting some hits in, but now he's disarmed. So no, Charlie BKB onto the high ground. Supreme gets the duels out. Troll has another BKB available. Milan on the chase, 33, can't find any targets. There's still a tier 2 tower, so you're gonna have to back away from that. Leave the Chicken Fighter space for now. It's slowed up. He's got some creep.
Surely no, there's no BKB on PA. All right, cool, thank you. I was going to say, if they try and fight here, like they just took an aggressive engagement where that fight started because CM was de-warding the high ground. She placed a ward. She saw Fata, and then of course DP was dead for 20 seconds, and Mudgolems was happy to that fight. And then Chicken Fighters once again, twice in a row, Charlie's had to defensively BKB. It's a 6-second BKB now for Charlie. But luckily, this is the type of game where his BKB is to try and break one remnant, to break away from that one spell. It's not as if it's a big spell damage dealing game. So a 5-second BKB for Charlie won't feel too uncomfortable.
Trickster's Rune of Illusion.
Where do we go from here? We've almost got a Satanic for PA, if I understood correct. And a BKB soon for the Death Prophet. Two big change items here for Chicken Fighters.
This will be very, very helpful in their kind of blazing attempt to fight.
Smoke coming in. They're on the low ground. Vision advantage is for Chicken Fighters. Misha on the front line. 23 goes in right away. They take down Misha onto the chase, onto Supreme though. They force the BKB of Charlie. Charlie all alone. He doesn't have any friends anymore. He's got nobody nearby. Bashed up again. Skitter and Stormstormer. They find the kill. Milan is on the run, but he also finds 2 heroes. DP thrown into the air. Exorcism is just off. Then DP is down. 3 heroes gone from Chicken Fighters. Mudgolems finding themselves. Also the Nature's Prophet. Saberlight. Oh, he's gonna TP out. Okay, never mind. He's safe at least. The rest of your heroes aren't. But still, there's still a tier 2 tower, so get the hell out of this base.
Yeah, and Mudgolems really punishing Chicken Fighters' positioning here. Once again, they had the vision advantage from Mudgolems at the start of that fight. They also chucked the Tombstone. Both teams actually had an observer on the high ground at the start of the fight. But when you have that Tombstone, when you have that already jump coming in from Mudgolems, you can see when you saw Charlie right by himself, there was that big disconnect forced, and Chicken Fighters, they need to try and tidy up their way in which they approach these fights. When they're able to kite out and prolong these engagements, they come out on top. But Chicken Fighters have basically ran their faces into death 2-3 times in a row now, and it's making this game quite hard for them to feel confident looking for a fight. I mentioned Troll needed several items to want to play this game, and if you look at his inventory, he's now very much on the way to having all those items into being, a big boy core that he's going to grow up to be.
Well, he got several items now in his inventory, and that Satanic, that will be the cherry on top of the cake. We've got our BKB almost up on the Ember Spirit, still needs to hold on to his buyback as well, and if I correctly look at the buyback status, the buybacks are back up on Chicken Fighters with all the cores that used them before, or the heroes who used them before. Era tries to make a run for it, but the heroes is and he will pick off. That is the 35th kill for the Mudgolems, now 8,000 gold ahead against the Chicken Fighters. They are still holding their ground.
I love every time someone dies in the bot lane, Misha draws the same arrow to his own jungle. It's like, guys, they're gonna run at us. They have numbers advantage. Every single time.
Roche minimum timer, 13 seconds. Hopefully somebody took the time up, because that's not even the 8-minute factor. They walk in, they walk out.
Shake it all about.
Give me your guess. Give me your guess for Roche spawn timer. I'd say 1:30.
2 minute.
1:47. All right, so you win. You're closer.
But very, very.
So huge pickup going this way from Mudgolems once again. He will take just to be safe from everybody here. That could have been more Chicken Fighters heroes in the region, but they find the DP all by himself.
Yeah, just the aggression from Mudgolems. It's not allowing Chicken Fighters to have that kind of slow-paced game that allows them to communicate what their team timings are.
Saberlight chased up. Nice
He's running away. Odds on him dying right now. Oh, he's dead.
How much can he do with this silent stuff? Once against goal sector from Skitter. Gets the chance to hit this PH, chewing up. Does get the Phantom Strike to jump away back to safety. Misha slowly taken down by Skitter. Can't get this kill. Their side actually score a kill. Another BKB charge down. Both Troll and the PA down to 5 seconds, while Troll still has 6.
3-4 Saberlight to die there, but he's pretty tanky. Halberd, Mech, Solar Crest.
Radiant's middle tower
Soon to be
is
AC.
under attack.
Like, Chicken Fighters, the way in which they've played the last 10 minutes, it feels as if one guy says he's strong, they go to make a play, and then they forget that the other guy also needs like an extra minute or two to come online. And there hasn't been that clean team execution of we're all ready to fight together. You know, being picked off by one hero, taking a fight whilst they've been picked off. And I feel like even though the game is 8k in the lead for Mudgolems, it's because of their aggression. And if they ever go over aggressive, like we saw in game 1, Chicken Fighters, they still have what it takes to kite out and win the game. So Roshan, again, I think this is critical. Can Chicken Fighters adjust how they approach Roshan in this next fight?
This should make my life easier.
Also, what I really like here, both teams actually have a Princess Knife. So we've got 2 extra hexes in the game. So Robert wants to pick up the level there, Chicken Fighters. Not really a hero to carry it, so it feels like a great item that just goes to waste here. Wow, Roshan is down. Who takes the Aegis buff? It goes for the Ember Spirit. See some fast remnant jumping.
Yep, that is scary, and this is the difference for you look at Div 2, Div 1 teams. I feel like that ability to play around Roshan and think about that timing, it's critical. And because of the issues Chicken Fighters presented themselves, you didn't have that BKB on DP, you didn't have that ability to contest that Roshan.
Roshan, they find a pick off this push. I just looked at Stormstormer finished BKB, DP finished BKB, and with Ember, that fresh 10-second BKB, they just picked an Axe buff for himself. They've got Cheese, they've got Aegis, they've got a pick off. Now they can get that pesky tier 2 tower out of the way and go for the high ground for the 3rd time this game, and maybe actually destroy some buildings this time.
Charlie, he knows what time it is. He's tapped in his rapier. He's 3k gold away.
You know what time it is. Stormstormer right next to him, forces the buyback from Saber. Skitter in trouble, losing that Aegis. Charlie gets it. Okay, that's 1. Time for round 2. They have the exorcism. They can't get the right in time. BKB pumped by Skitter, taking the map fight against Charlie. Sprout in the trees. What you gonna do? They're stuck there right now. Skitter going deep with that penalty pumping all the way. Big trouble. He's down. He's all the way down. Milan is also in trouble. He might get himself that gold scepter to TP out, but no. Error comes in with a roll, cancels it. You're not going anywhere. Troll down, Aegis down. What is happening here?
Now,
Skitter, one word. Yeah, so crikey.
Oh, crikey indeed.
Oh, mate, that was... Okay, Charlie, how far away from the rapier now? Okay, 1600 gold. Things have peaked. You Christian.
Charlie. Oh no, Stormstormer. Okay.
He's got the
Doesn't need to use his speed.
Mate, he's got an axe. Look at him.
Yeah, he's fine, he's fine. I was like, does he need to use his 10-second BKB? Yeah. They got the hex! Stormstormer does have to pump that BKB
Radiant's middle
finally.
tower is under
So
attack.
close, so close. But that was...
To be fair, he perfectly changed his TP location to then find it.
Yeah.
Props to him.
And Charlie onto the high ground. Chicken Fighters one step closer. Repair kit being used up, so they will force the glyph.
Radiant's middle tower is under
He took this lane of Rax as well. 20 seconds, no troll, no buyback on Skitter. Can't afford. 1600 gold short.
Radiant's
Tier
middle
3
tower
down.
has fallen.
Chicken Fighters taking the run away. Stormstormer good for he's able to take that Misha. One will come at his cost because he's got 1 remnant left that he will get out. The silence doesn't quite connect from Supreme. Difficult to land at 33. Wait, who pops his BKB? What the heck? Supreme.
No bash. Sacrifice Stellar Saberlight, thank you for your service.
Bonk.
The Radiant will remember.
Living things.
Alright, Mudgolems, run it down mid. No buyback and Saberlight, you know the drill.
Yep.
Dota has become a one-lane game. You run it down mid for Radiant, or you run it down mid for Dire.
Big question. Charlie, Rapier, or buyback? 600 gold short from Rapier. Do you hold your buyback? Do you go Rapier?
You have to go Rapier here. With no Fury in a life for 90, you need something in the tank to fight.
Yeah. Well, he can't afford it right now, and they're already pushing the base, so this is a difficult time for Charlie.
His courier is ready to collect. And Misha completed the BKB.
Supreme coming in. 5 seconds for the BKB, and Skitter in trouble again. BKB has been optimal. Misha, but Skitter is down. Supreme finds the kill with Charlie's help. In the middle, gets another disseminate to dodge, but there's a BKB pop by Ember Spirit, and there's Stormstormer dishing out damage, trying to take down Arrow. Trying to find Supreme as well. The BKB up and running for a few more seconds. This DP is taking people down, and they're just destroying everybody. The buyback does come out from Charlie, however, and Chicken Fighters get to hold onto their base for a tiny bit longer. The heals from Milan bringing 33 back to full HP. Charlie being held in place with the boots as well. Does have a BKB available if he needs to use it, but there's no troll, there's no damage in Mudgolems. They're going to have to sacrifice kills, and Supreme finds himself a triple kill. That does come with the exorcism. Stormstormer still has Era on his heels, looking for another stop. Gets the silence out at least. He will be able to control this Ember Spirit, and it's an ultra kill for Supreme. Chicken Fighters hold all to their home.
So, Chicken Fighters, are you running it down mid, or what's the plan here, lads? Yeah, Charlie, he knows his job.
4 kills, 2 buybacks.
Games.
Bounty.
Indeed.
It's, the biggest opponent right now from Skitter is not any of the heroes on Dire, but it's the steps. The slippery steps that is the Dire high ground. He kind of trips up on them and then dies when he just kind of enters the base. That's now a
Any
Rex.
buybacks.
Radiant's middle barracks.
And they force any buybacks, I think. They can't get top lane. There's a tier 2 remaining. We'll take the mid lane. The secure option.
Very good move though from Chicken Fighters. They instantly get the ranks. They respect the potential buyback on the Ember, the IO. And yeah, but look at PH. She just bought back in that fight, right? But now she has the same kind of gold for Rapier. So that buyback was not costly at all. It was a very, obviously, very good buyback in principle.
Big advantage. And is that an ACI spot on the Nature's Prophet?
Yes, it is.
100 gold short.
There we go, look at that. They're all buying out. They're like, well, PA's got a Rapier, so do we need buybacks and stuff? Nah.
Yeah. Put all the eggs in the same basket, so this is the all-in.
I'd expect Chicken Fighters to allow themselves maybe Supreme to have a buyback at some point and play off of that, but this smoke, this could be game breaking, because if you check the buybacks now entering this fight, you've got Ember with buyback, Voice with buyback, but Troll, he doesn't have it. You know, he's just too poor. You kill Skitter, this could be the game.
Let's see if this all-in actually pays off.
Rapier revealed as well.
People,
Mudgolems are not aware of the Rapier.
Yeah. Take the high ground position at least. There's a smart choice to stay here. There's the downside is Charlie just cleared a camp and there's an Oxwood that revealed his location, so very nicely dodges everything, forces Misha's ulti even, and now going in for the damage. Misha's BKB pops CM in trouble, Fada coming in, Skitter coming in, 33 as well, and Chicken Fighters trying to reposition themselves for the fight, but 33 comes up the Supreme, also gets his ulti off in time, and now Charlie chased by Skitter, gets a lot of hits in, forces the BKB charges to be forced, and running away, Charlie, he's got the Rapier, it's down on the ground, and it's taken for Stormstormer. No, he's actually going to take it at all, he's just going to leave it there, and here comes Saberlight, he secures the Rapier, but at the same time, Era in trouble up between, and he's dead as well. PA down, Earth Spirit down, and Supreme 1 versus 4. How can he fight this by himself? Skitter on the chase, the Yules comes out, he's still got his own Yules, but that exorcism is also coming out, and he is left by himself, surrounded by Mudgolems, and he is taken down, stun after stun after stun, just like Mudgolems do. Once you get hit by stuns, Saberlight trying to make a run for it. He will be the last one, the last man to tell the tale that we died in this one.
Alright, Mudgolems, you know the drill. Alright, run it down mid.
Well, the drill. Well, this is the time to tie up the series 1-1 if they go for it.
I gotta give props. I think the double
is-
spirits from Mudgolems,
Question is-
Stormer and 33 doing great work with their Fusion in that fight.
Where's the rapier?
Mate, there's no buybacks. There's no
True.
there's no buyback.
I just want
These
to.
fighters have nothing in the tank. They are broken.
Alright, Io's got rapier. Io has rapier.
Radiant's top
Io
tower
just
is under attack.
Io hits for 500 damage.
Dire's
see
middle
that? He
tower is
relocated
under
in.
attack.
Yeah.
But did he steal them?
Yeah, I mean, they can't all. Io just goes in, relocates.
Did he have the rapier?
Like, I'm gonna take this.
Has fallen.
Yoink.
Did he just relocate steal?
No, he relocated into the fountain to pick it up, so the nature's secured it.
Alright, cool.
So, the panel can tell more exactly what happened there, but if I look correctly, Saberlight secured the rapier in the first place. He brought it back home. He died. I think either he brought it by himself. I'm not sure if the courier could bring it.